Welcome back to Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk.
We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk, real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk, real talk. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk, real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk, real talk. Allah want us to talk about it. At least that we can shout about it. We're building our foundation upon truth. Unfaithful now to think about it. Communicate and speak about it. The gospel of salvation is good news. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk, real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk, real talk. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk, real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk, real talk. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk,
Moorish Talk. In 2 weeks on Monday at 7 p.m.
We thank you all for being a part of this show and experience with us, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace. Peace.
Islam Sister Radio, we can't hear you.
How about now?
Good.
You got it.
Praise Allah. Islam again. First, I give praise to Allah, the great God of the universe. I give honor to his last prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to all the past leaders of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother C. Kirkman Bey, Brother F. Nelson Bey, and Brother J. Blakely Bey. I give honor to our past Grand Sheikh and moderator, Brother R. Love Gill. I give honor to our present Grand Sheikh and moderator, Brother R. Jones Bey, and to his assistant, Brother A. Hopkins Bey. I give honor to all national, state, and local officials. I give honor to our media team. Thank you so much for all the work that you do for us. I give honor to all our members and our viewers and my sisters on the panel, Islam sisters. Welcome back to season 9 of Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk. Tonight's episode is Embracing Your Softness. I am Sister Ingria Ill, Temple 71, Washington, D.C.
Islam, I like to give praises to our Father God Allah, honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to all and whom the sister gave honors to. I give honors where honors due. I give honors to each and every one of you. My name is Sister T. Britt Bay from Temple 71 in Washington, D.C. Peace.
Islam, Islam, Islam. I like to rise and give all praises to Allah, honor to our holy and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, honors to the leadership of the Moorish Science Temple of America, honors to each and every one of you, honors to where honor is due. Islam, and this is Sister Tiffany Hopkins Bey out of Temple number 11, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Islam, first I give praise to the great God, the Father God Allah. I give honor to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, and I give honor to everything that my sisters gave honor to before me. I want to give a special honors to those that are with us today to be a part of this show and experience with us, and those that have graced us with us. And I want to give honors to Sister Voniel for that beautiful intro that you just experienced. Thank you so much for giving us that, and to Brother Hopkins Bey for creating that beautiful video for us, to putting it all together. It takes a nation to do all of this and the beautiful talent. So I give honors to all of you who are doing what you can to continue to do the work. May Allah be pleased with their work. And My name is Sister A. Rabin Obey, number 21, Brooklyn, New York. So tonight we're about to talk about embracing our softness. That's our topic. Fabulous Sister Rebe had this full thought that came to her, and so I think it's befitting for us to first figure out, what does it even mean to you to have a softer side, and why is it important?
Islam. Praise Allah for the topic and praise Allah for the question. I think when you speak about having a softer side, I think it's embracing your femininity. I think that it is allowing yourself to be, in a sense, free to be you, to be who Allah created you to be. I think it's important because being a part of a nation, we're raising daughters. And I know for myself personally, I didn't really embrace that softer side until I joined the Moorish Scientific of America. And it's still taking years. I'm not 100% there yet. But I learned what it meant and what I had to start doing. I think because, being out in the world at times, you take on everything and you're handling everything yourself. And so for me, even still to this day, it's a little uncomfortable to have like people open the door for me. Even my husband open the door for me, or like carry my bags or something like that. Like, I'm like, I can do it. I'm all right, but just embracing the softer side of yourself, embracing that womanhood, because the prophet told us to have a deeper appreciation for womanhood. And that does not just mean for the brothers, that means for the sisters as well. We have to have that deeper appreciation for womanhood and all that comes with it. We're striving for perfection within ourselves to get back at one with our Father God Allah. And so there are some things that we all have to work on, without a doubt. So praise Allah, that's what it means to me.
Peace.
Peace.
I would have to say, and agree with the sister. When I thought about embracing softness, it's just letting that part of you come out, and I'm going to speak just on me, because I like to everything, but I'm going to just stay with Sister Great Ill. Sister Great Ill had been so used to doing everything for herself. In order for it to get done, if it was going to get done, I had to do it. It's just that simple, right? And I have to still myself, not be so anxious to open the door. It's okay to let him open the door, whoever the him is. Sometimes some sisters may think that when a brother is being genuinely decent, that it's some sort of approach that she's not, open to. But it's not always that case. It's not always that case. Embracing my soft self means it's okay to sit like a lady. It's okay to not wear baggy clothes. It's okay to want to be tender. I'm tired. I'm tired of being hard. I was tired of being hard. I mean, the bottom line is, I guess when you get so tired of being hard, you don't have another choice but to embrace with softness. I mean, that's what we were made to be, soft anyway, right? Embrace it. That's enough out of me.
Islam. Can you all hear me? I want
Yes.
to make a correction too. The thought of this topic came from Sister Greg Eel, which I thought was a perfect topic, especially for me.
Mhm.
Um, and I thank you, Sister, for the thought. Um, what does it mean? It means I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off my sisters that went ahead of me. It means femininity and sexuality. The softer side is a sexy side. It's a very attractive side. It's that understanding side of me. And this is what it is to me. Um, I can recall when uh, I once had that softer side. Past life changed things, and now here today, um, as I'm maturing spiritually, I want to embrace that. And I have to agree with Sister Greg Hill. It's kind of hard um, accepting or having um, people open doors for me, um, escort me downstairs. But these are the things that I want. And in order for me to have that, um, I've got to be able to open up to it. And I like how it feels. I like how that softer side of me feel. I like when I'm able to demonstrate my softer side. I like how it makes other people feel. It puts a smile on their face. My mannerisms is totally different when that softer side come out. I'm tired of being hard too. So, and it's also important to me because, for one, I think about, our purpose in life. We bring that balance with that softer side, that nurturing part, that loving part, that affectionate part, So, and Allah is love. So he brought. I really feel like the purpose for the woman's part of her purpose. I feel is to bring that balance with that. So that's why it's important to me. I like how it feels, and I want to embrace it. I want to be able to embrace that. I like how that feels and how it looks. Peace.
Peace.
Sis, will you do me a favor? You sent me something earlier. Can you read that, Sister Bribe?
Absolutely.
Did y'all have a great weekend? Or a week
We
beginning,
did.
should I
I
say?
did.
Because
I
we
was,
know that Friday is the beginning of the week. So did
that's
y'all have a
right.
great week beginning? Good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to ask everyone
Praise.
how their break was, being as though we are coming
Mm.
off a break. Praise
It was
Allah.
Yes.
breaking like a mud.
Praise Allah.
Islam. So,
Islam.
as I was sharing with the sisters earlier, when I got home from work today, and I went on my page, the first thing that popped up was this little quote, and it says, You deserve to be in environments that bring out the softness in you, not the survival in you. And I
Mm.
sent this to Sister Greg Hill, and it was like, wow, so on time, so on
Right on
point.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Praise
Absolutely.
Allah for that. Praise Allah for
Yeah.
that.
Absolutely. Apologies, Sister Grill. I think when we were brainstorming the idea, I might have heard it from you, and then I'm heard Sister Britt just go in it. So
No
in my head, I
problem.
thought, but
We
but
all in this together anyway.
That's
thank you,
right.
sis. But
Absolutely.
I remember the reason why I brought it back is because I remember we were talking about it, and it made me see my own self examination. Because there are times when I can, but there are times when I won't be that way. And what you just read actually, I think, is the reason is survival. Growing up in New York, I was
Hmm.
told, that if you're gonna walk these streets, if you got to go to the store, you can't look like a victim, right? And so you
Mm.
can't look like you're open and smiling and friendly and like that was not what I was thinking about. So it was a bit, definitely some survival that I think shifted that. And then even when you start to get in relationships, or better yet, friendships with other sisters, sometimes you open up and you may get hurt, and out of survival, you're not as open as you might want to be before. So you had me really, that question had me thinking a lot, and it made me go into to our Quran. And it always struck me, it still strikes me, that in the chapter it says, give ear, fair daughter of love. Like, I remember when I first read that, because to me it was like, wait, he said fair daughter of love, so he's saying that we're representations of love. And love is soft, love is affectionate, love is kind, love has so much, and we have so many of those things naturally in us. You got to unpeel it, but we have it. Let a little baby come in your arms that you don't even know. What do? You're like, oh, you just get into this emotional feeling. I mean, I can't stop looking at the baby videos lately, but there's just something that comes with that pure raw feeling. And then I thought about, with in our other chapter, Holy Instructions and Warnings for Young Men, when you're talking to those young men, he says, shut not thy bosom to the tenderness of love. He's telling them not to shut their bosom to the tenderness of love. He's talking about these sisters up in here. So so we have to unveil it. We have to share it. And so it just had me thinking a lot about that, and how I show up. Sometimes I don't show up that tender. I need to be more and more tender, with the world, with my children, with my family, with my husband, with anyone, because the prophet signed it, your affectionate leader. And I always think, like, he said he was affectionate. Blow my mind. So that's why I think it's also really important that we embrace our softer side. It's a gift.
Sister, I'm sorry. You woke up something in me when you talked about how you had to basically wear this mask to survive New York, right? Because I survived growing up in New York, right? And I grew up in Texas, and I would, even though it was rough in spots, certain cities, I was taught that if you cross paths with someone and y'all make eye contact, you're supposed to speak.
Mm-hmm.
When I came here and I was doing that, and people were like, "Don't do that. You're gonna wake yourself. They're gonna think you soft or a sucker, this and that." And I'm like, I'm just saying, how you doing? Really? Okay. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was rough when I got here, but I became super rough. Here on these streets, like, because you gotta mask up, and I'm like, I don't want to do that no more. Like, who want to be faking? Who want to be faking like that just to survive? And that's what a lot of us did, or some of us still do, is just trying to survive the world. I want to live.
That's right.
That's what you do when you embrace your softness. You are able to live free, just who you are, as you are, in the way you want to be.
That's right.
Praise Allah. I was thinking when y'all were speaking about that, it's the same thing here in Philly. Like, everybody's angry. It's just everybody's angry. Everybody's mad. Like, it's just a look. Like, it's so deep, because unfortunately, it's like you can tell you're from Philly. Like, certain people, you can tell, like, because it's a look, but it's also a vibration. Like, don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me. But I also think that, for me anyway, I think growing up seeing my mom as a single parent, I didn't know how to accept like certain gestures from brothers, because I felt like you wanted something. Like, I don't need your help, because we ain't going down that road. I don't even want to talk to you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that whole thing of you don't want nobody to say nothing to you. So, and then also having to always do things, like it was said earlier, do things for yourself. I grew up like that. So I was raised to be able to know how to do everything you have to do for yourself. And that's just the background from what I come from. So when you see your mother who is, struggling to take care of you and your siblings or whatever the case may be, and, she doesn't have a brother around, or even if she has a brother around, the brother is not doing those kinds of things. So I think it's about having a certain, seeing certain things when you grow up, because not everybody has had that male presence in their house. Um, I didn't have that growing up, and um, the presence of males that were around, they darn sure was not opening doors and carrying groceries or going grocery shopping. Like my mother and my grandmother did all that type of stuff. So, just honors to them for seeing their struggle and them, you know, making it through. But those are things that as a young child I bear witness to, and I was able to say, I don't want that for my myself or my children or my daughters. And also teaching my sons, praise the Lord for my husband teaching my sons to, help your mother or help whatever female. I think that it is important for us to consistently teach our youth about that, because, you know, praise the Lord for us having muftis and stuff at our meetings and stuff, and how they help and assist. But I think that the youth needs to see that more often, so that they can understand, like, this is what you do. This is how you do it. You can see a elderly person struggling with some groceries or something, like, if you're able to assist them, at least offer. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, praise the Lord for the different things that you see growing up. And I think you're either going to learn from it, or you're going to learn what to do or what not to do. So praise the Lord.
Thank you, sis. Who's got the next question for us? Why are you thinking that whoever's the question? I just one thought that the sister said when you were just saying about, the children. It's really good to teach our youth, particularly sisters or girls growing up, so that they're not carrying this. But we got to first recognize it for ourselves. I couldn't do that if you're not thinking about it. And then to boys, they have to understand their responsibility, to be able to create the environment that allows you, because part of being soft means that you're going to be open for vulnerability. You're going to be vulnerable. I'm going to be vulnerable. And I need to know that if I'm going to be vulnerable, that I'm safe.
Exactly.
So that's just important, to feel safe. And while we have muftis, they make you they ensure you safe, so I think that's just important. Sis, unmute before you go. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, I think also at times it's hard for sisters to be vulnerable, because you don't want to feel like, you're going to be taken advantage of, or if someone sees your vulnerability, they're going to be like, she's weak. For me, listen, I still struggle with that. That is something I still like. I'm not. I cry more when I'm angry than I do when I'm hurt, or when. When I'm angry. I'm gonna just say that, when I'm angry. And you know what? Listen, I'm gonna be honest. So the struggle with me is like, get out your low, get out your lower self. That's the struggle for me. And praise a lot, because I know we've had this conversation before where it was like, no, you're weak when you go to your low and act on whatever you're thinking of. The strength is refraining from that. So
Yes,
praise a lot for that. But being vulnerable, that's something that I definitely struggle with, because it's like I've had to be hard for so long. I've had to endure so much for so long, whether it be from, people on the streets, whether it be from, family members. Like, sometimes you go through a lot of unnecessary nonsense, and it's like, why do we have to go through that? Like, why can't we just love each other? And if you don't vibe, because everybody is not everybody's cup of tea, and we understand that. But at the same time, we don't have to disrespect each other either.
That's right. That's right.
You know, respect is due. You give respect, you get respect. So my thing is, at times, you know, you don't want to. And this is something I've learned. I have had issues with going to a person and being like, "This is how I felt when this happened," and it's due to. It may have been a time before where they was like, "Well, I don't. Oh well, that's how you took it," and it's like. So you as my sister or my brother, I cannot be vulnerable with you because you wouldn't care one way or another. So those are some of the things that, you know, we battle and we face and we endure. And so then it's like, okay, well, guess what? That happened to me before. I'm not going to make that mistake again. So now I got to be hard. I got to build up that brick wall, and it's going to be super hard for anybody to get through it because you don't want to trust people. You don't want to trust people because you don't feel safe. You don't feel as though your feelings and your emotions and who you are as a person, as a human being, is not being validated by anybody.
That's right.
And what is it to yourself?
That's a struggle.
Right.
Yeah.
But you said something earlier too. It changes your whole vibration.
It does.
It changes. It's not just how you speak. It's like don't even like when I was gonna celebrate. Don't bother me. You know.
Yeah.
Right. Like you just get this thing, right, and you just carry it, and it's not soft, and it's not pretty, and it's not beautiful, but you feel it's necessary. It feels necessary, but it's not. I'll say this one thought too. This morning I went to go get some fruit for the children, and there's this little stand, and a woman makes little pastries. I was like, let me go over there and support her and get something for the children. And she said something to me that changed my vibration. She said, "Good morning, sister." And the way she said it, you know what I mean? And I was like, it doesn't take much.
Right.
It doesn't take much. I haven't seen you in forever. And I was just like, it just felt genuine. It was so loving. It was sweet, and I was just like, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all.
Praise Allah.
Sister, I just decided recently, sometimes when I'm at the place I go every day, sometimes I'm sitting in my car and I see sisters walk by, and inside of me, I want to roll my window down and say good morning. But like the sister was saying, some sisters don't want to be bothered like that. And I was like, well, I shouldn't I start being selfish. I shouldn't let them not want to be spoken to stop me from speaking to them. You never know, they just might need it, right? So I said I was gonna make it my business. If a sister walked by my car, I'm gonna say good morning. But I got a question, and the question is, has embracing your softness ever led you to disappointment? And I'm gonna kick it off and say yes. Because one day I went from soft as a feather to I don't know what was on the other end of that spectrum. But I was angry. But I was angry with myself for the outcome. I was pulling up in the parking lot, and there was some sisters loading up. So I wasn't in no rush, no kind of way at all. Like I didn't have nothing to do. All I had to do was go in the store, take my time, and come on home. The sister went left on me. I was like, take your time. Oh, she went on me, and without even realizing, I went with her. And I was so angry with myself after that. And I was like, you got to embrace your softness to the best of your ability when you are triggered, when you're right in the moment. Keep fighting it. You gotta, I feel like if I keep pushing out the love, whatever that sister would have been feeling would have brought her back down. And I really, really tried, but I was triggered in a bad way. So it's about just keep practicing and embrace it. No matter if anybody tried to, snatch that from you. Because like I was saying, we got to put on a mask out here. And I just refuse to be hard. I'm not meant to be hard. I want to be soft. I'm not no sucker. I'm soft. I'm embracing that, right? I got to. It's who I'm meant to be. So it's about practicing too. You know, can't get this overnight because it took a lot. I didn't get the way I was overnight. So it's going to take some time to, you know, get to where I hope to
That's
be
true.
someday. Hope to be
Mhm.
a mirror of chapter 21. Praise Allah.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Absolutely. Islam, I could say, embracing my softer side has led me to disappointments. And it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. And I know that we're not to expect anything from anyone. But in some settings, there have been times, and I don't know if I'm wrong, but I'm a share it where I feel like if a gentleman is in my presence and we're going through a door, you open the door for me first. And to experience a gentleman going through a door before me, and you throwing your arm back for me to catch it, that's a disappointment. Because that one, out of all the gestures a brother could give a sister, I just feel that one is just automatic. Everybody, I felt
And
like,
easy.
most brothers would know that gesture. And not saying that the brother didn't, mine could have been somewhere else. I'm just sharing that that was a disappointment for me, to the point that I had to look around to see if anybody saw that, because I was hoping nobody saw that happen, because that was not only a disappointment, but it was embarrassing, to me. And just for there to be a situation where they may see something needs to be done or could be done, um, and they don't even offer. That's a disappointment,
Mm.
or that you're comfortable with seeing me do these things, and you may use, uh or you may make the statement that, well, you used to doing, you always do everything yourself. I'm not going to allow that to be the reason. But I'm also learning that I have to create that for myself first, because I think the only way I'm going to actually be able to embrace the softness is I'm gonna have to learn how to let go of some things
Mm.
as well, because I'm hard, and I'm hard from the survival that took place prior to me getting to this point in my life.
Mhm.
Um, and that survival was serious, because a lot of times I felt like I was by myself and I had no choice. And if I want to survive, I have to do a lot of things myself. And don't get me wrong, I'm glad that I know how, and I'm willing to do some things. It's just that now, the more I'm growing spiritually, the more some of those layers are coming off, and that soft side, the head is peaking. And I feel the feminine side of me rising, you
Mhm.
know. And I'm not even gonna say that part because it goes into another one of our questions, but I just feel like that's something that I'm gonna first have to, because I don't think anybody can give me what it is. That's like a passion and a desire that I have for myself,
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm.
real, because I have been hard, which has also made me a very defensive person. So I've been that way for quite some time. So it's a process in shedding that, but I don't think anybody can give me that. I have to first create it for myself. And I
Yeah.
just I just feel like me creating that for myself is, I have to first let go, and it's a state of mind. You know, creation is a state of, I mean, heaven is a state of mind. And I
Mm.
look at that part as being a part of my heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
so,
Mm.
I have to see myself as a certain person. And I'll use the word queen. Because when I think of that softer side, I think of queen. And I have to first see myself as a queen. And to see myself as a queen, I got to first know what that is. Who is a queen? What is a queen?
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm growing spiritually, I desire to become that. And at this place in my life, I feel like a queen. But the thing is learning how to stand on my square, because if I don't see it in me, who else will? So I can't expect it to just come from someone. So I got to give it to myself first. And that's why I read, what's the chapter, sis, you just spoke, Sister Greer? That chapter right there expresses it all to me as to what a queen is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, peace.
Mm-hmm.
Praise Allah. I think, and praise Allah for what y'all just said. I think, just a comment on what Sister Britt Bay said. I think when you're thinking of yourself as a queen, you know, you're absolutely right. You have to claim it first.
Yes.
You have to know what you
Yes.
deserve and what you will take and what you will accept and what you won't. You got to teach people how to treat you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the question, you know, has embracing your softness ever led to disappointment? Disappointment. I think for me, absolutely. And not just with, you know, brothers, with just people, sisters, people in general.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You
Absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
Yes.
have you ever had a situation where it's like, and this is from my experience, where you have wanted to be accepted or liked so much, and you're just trying to be, you're not like being outside yourself, you're just trying to make sure that you are, you know, a mild tempered and toned person, like, you know, you want to get
Mm-hmm.
along with everybody, you want to make sure that, you know, people get to know you and, you know, embrace and love you for who you are, and you get rejected for nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Listen, that's something extreme that we
Mm-hmm.
go through, and I feel like that is disappointing when you are giving your all just to be liked,
Yeah.
just to be liked, and it's not nothing that you've done to anybody. Because then again, you never really know. You could say good morning and somebody can have an attitude, so you really never know. You know what I'm saying? But I recall when I got to that point in my life, and I was like, listen, either they gonna like me or they not. And guess what? At the end of the day, I gotta love myself. I can't please men. We not here to please men. We here to please Allah. And it's such a blessing because this part right here, listen, before we came on the show, before we came on, because you know we get on and you know, praise Allah. I was upstairs in my room getting dressed, and I'm like, I am really in a good place, like mentally, just in a positive place. Why? Because I'm focusing on me. I could care less what everybody else has to say or how they feel. I have to be good with me. And this is no disrespect to anybody. Please believe. This is no
None
disrespect.
taken.
But there has to be a time in your life when you are like, I am
Yeah.
doing everything in my power to be
Yes.
as good as a Moorish American Muslim queen, mother, wife, whatever, daughter as I possibly can. I can't worry about who got issues. I can't worry about that. I can't wear that. That's between them and Allah. And I'm in a good place because I know that I'm striving for purity.
Yes.
I know that.
Yes.
So I can't worry about whatever else is going on in somebody else's mind. Praise Allah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm good. And when you feel that, when you really feel that comfortability with yourself,
Yes.
whew, that's a feeling that is honestly unexplainable. Because it's
Yes.
like, oh, I'm good. Like, I'm good being me. I'm enough. And y'all know I talk about this all the time. That I'm
Right.
enough type stuff. Listen,
Mhm.
I had, and it's a blessing because I just had a conversation with this young lady I met earlier today who I think I'm gonna contract her to sell some stuff in my store. And just her vibration was so beautiful. When I tell you her vibration was so beautiful, and it was like I had just met this young sister, and it was like I knew her for years, and we could talk and have a conversation. And it's, sometimes you give off such a beautiful high energy that everybody else has no choice but to do the same. They have no choice because
Mhm.
you're giving love and respect, and you're giving the 5 principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and that's what you're getting back. And so just to be in that comfort zone, it's amazing. And if you are ever disappointed by because you're embracing your softness or your vulnerability, listen, say your prayer and just keep being you. That's all you gotta do. Keep being you. Because either they gonna get up on that horse or they gonna get off. Praise the Lord.
Mhm.
Thank you, sis.
And sister,
Yes.
you said something, and Sister Britt Bay touched on it too, pertaining to the fact of, you get disappointed when you are giving your best. And our Quran teaches us that, we are to love and not demand love in return. But in nowhere that I read that it says we shouldn't desire it or want it. Who don't want to be loved?
Right.
Who don't want to be loved by the individual they're loving?
Right.
Nobody.
Exactly. Exactly.
It don't make, you gotta make it make sense, right?
Right.
But that's the conflict right there. You
Yeah.
know, um, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Peace.
Peace. Yes, when you were talking, it made me think of something I used to say back in the day, which triggered love me or leave me alone. That was
Yeah.
it, right? You got to love me or leave me alone,
That's
right?
right.
It's like, because I'm not trying to get into anything with you. Of course, experience disappointments, right? Because to me, when you're embracing your softness, you're just being you. And a part
That's
of you is just you can be kind and affectionate and open and sweet and whatever it is that you want to describe yourself to be. And some people may not like it. They're not ready
Mm-hmm.
for it. They can't handle it. Or they do something that you're like, well, what did I deserve all that hate from?
Right.
And I remember that back in, school, back in
Mm-hmm.
school, it was not fun. And now having children, I have so much patience and love for people. Middle school is rough. Middle school is rough,
It
because
is.
it definitely, you see the transition from there's this like this sweetness to that hardness for boys and girls,
Mm-hmm.
because there's that attention. They're trying to find their people. They're mimicking others. They're trying to hold on to their. It's a lot. And watching my children go through it, I'm like that. I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I have memories in that moment, wanting to be able to hang out with certain people and they didn't want to deal with you. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, they don't want to deal with you. Couldn't go out on Friday nights. That wasn't happening in my house unless it was going to 349 Bateman Street and Temple number 21. So, there was a lot of things that you get rejected from, and it makes you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, get stiff and stuck. Um, but someone said something recently that has been really resonating with me, and I saw it somewhere, and it was essentially be who you are so that the people that are looking for you can find you.
Mm,
I'm paraphrasing it,
Wow.
but it's been something that's been in, like, I've read it
mm,
once. This woman says, I follow some of her thoughts around, work stuff, and it's just starting to hit home. If I'm just who I am, the people that I need to be will show up. They can find you. They can't
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
find me if I'm behind a mask. You know
Right.
what I
no,
mean? Because that ain't really
yes,
who I am.
Preach, sister.
yes.
That's
That's
not who
right.
I am. Um, so yeah, it's just so important that we not just well, I don't want to say it's softness, embracing yourself. And it
Mm-hmm.
whatever it takes to unpack and figure out who that is, go through the process, figure it out. Reflection is the business of man. You know
Islam.
what I mean? Go
Yeah.
back, try to unpack to figure out. I mean, when you were talking about your mother, it made me think, my mother grew up in Mobile, Alabama. Racism was high. She
Right.
came up to New York. And I used to think my mother was really hard. But as you get older, you realize, oh, she was doing that because there were things that were happening, interactions that were not okay. And she
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
had to walk with dignity, and walk with her own courage. And she instilled that so much in us. But it was because the abuse and the treatment that was suffering from our people. And so, and then you go back, and if we keep going back generations, we're not the first generation that's struggling embracing our softness.
That's
Okay.
right.
And I think our people, this is my opinion, I think our people, our sisters have it the hardest because generationally we've had to detach from that to survive.
Yeah.
We've had to we're learning it. Each generation we're learning it more and more. But that wasn't go 3-4 generations. You can't be soft for many reasons. And so I think that this topic is so important because we need to, the prophet saying, I'm teaching you to be yourself. That's it. Just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we got to do. Praise Allah for these lessons.
And praise Allah. And it's no strange happenings because in chapter 21, there's a reason why the prophet put this chapter in here. Mm-hmm. He had to teach us
who we are
because he knew what we were going through. So he had to teach us how to be women.
That's right.
Because for so long we was out here having to be hard.
Yep.
You know, when
or teach us.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
or teach us that it was okay to be that woman.
Right.
Because sometimes we some of us know how to be that, but to be that sister is not favorable for us in some areas. It's just what it is. I didn't mean to interrupt your thoughts. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. That's so true. And, you know, when you were speaking about the sisters, like you may see them walking by and you just want to say good morning. You know, sometimes I think about, you know, some of these sisters or, some of these sisters out here that are struggling, you know, to get back and forth, or they have their children and they're trying to, you know, take their children to school or daycare or trying to go to work or trying to do something. And they don't have a male in the household to help. Right. Or the male in the household just doesn't help, because that is one thing that I struggle with. If I know a brother that is not helping or assisting in the household, but you are, you know, wanting this to be the man of the household, but you don't want the responsibility. You want the title, but you don't want the responsibility. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. But if we're thinking about mental slavery, this is how it was. The men back in the day when slavery was going on, they were, you know, to go and breed with different women and then leave. But listen, we have to, and this is why it's important to teach our young brothers, don't do that. You were meant to, whoever you're going to be with, marry that sister before you be out here doing all kinds of stuff, because it's not fair to her to have to take care of these children by herself. That's it's not right, and it's not fair. And it's crazy because I see it so much, and it's like, you know, at times things happen and it might not work out or whatever the case may be, and nobody's faulting you for that. But if we are talking about people that are supposed to love each other, you don't want to see your sister struggling.
Right.
You don't have to be married to somebody or with that person to help and assist, because we're supposed to be loving each other and uplifting one another.
Yes.
So that's an important part of just humanity. You know what I'm saying? Social duties. We're here to assist one another. And it's deep because at times, you know, the sisters don't know how to accept the help, but at the same time, people don't know how to give the help.
Ooh, child, what you talking about?
Yeah, and this topic is not just for sisters. Brothers should want to embrace their soft side too. I'm gonna say this: when brothers embrace their tender side, it unlocks levels for us. Yeah, and sometimes we didn't even know that we're in there when they embrace their soft side. You know,
that's so true.
It does.
Yeah,
because I think a lot of times brothers
y'all
are
better
like,
get unlocking them levels, brothers.
Say it again, sis.
Islam.
Praise Allah. Yeah.
You
I
know, I sorry, sister. Go ahead, say you finish
no,
your
you
thought.
good. You good.
You know, I mean, I can't help it. I'm on social media, so you know, you hear things and see things about. You know, there's a woman out there. Y'all may know her, and she is celebrity. She had a baby, and she went out and was dressed in a particular way, and the man was out there on social media calling her different
I
names.
saw it.
You saw that, and it. You know, there was so
Yes.
much fire around that of how people were supporting her because you know where she's at, but it, you know, I had to think a little bit about it. You know, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you say you love this person, you don't go out on social media and call this person out,
Right.
okay? Because a woman's love is fierce. You
That's
know,
right.
it is fierce. And I was so impressed with it was someone who was talking about it. It was a comedian, but he just said, he was like, you understand, if a woman loves you, that's one level. He said, but if a woman loves and trusts you, that's a whole nother level.
Oh,
There's an
another level.
openness that just happens. He said, that's the golden ticket, you know,
Yeah.
to get love and trust. And it just
Hmm.
made me reflect on our lessons. And it made me talk, you know, I'm just looking at the chapter. I was trying to find it earlier, but it was saying, you know, if you're able to find that sister, she's to here to assist you in the toils of life, you
Mm.
know, to
Right.
Mm.
soothe his heart with thy tenderness and recompense his care with soft endearments. The things that she will do for you. It's you listen to you. I mean, we have girlfriends. They do anything and everything for somebody. Sometimes when the person ain't treating them right,
Hmm.
because the level of love that they are willing to give, if it's
Yes.
right,
Yes.
it's out of
Yeah.
it's like you it's like the treasure box just opened up, it's
Mhm.
yours.
Yeah.
So you know it's important to have this softness because it's hugely valuable, not
Mm.
And
just
and
for them,
Mm-hmm.
for us too.
and imagine the level that that sister can reach with her love if the brother or whoever, just people in her life in general, were
Hmm.
loving and tender.
The
Yeah.
The way I
girlfriend
talk, I
that give
listen,
you the conversation,
listen.
you know, you like that's my girl, right?
Right.
This,
Right.
this is not me boasting, but I do very well in the kitchen. But when love is in the back of the toil, oh, it's so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's so much more enjoyable.
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you, y'all better get done locking them levels.
Well, you know, sis, you are right because I used to. I'm telling you, I was like, I don't like cooking, and someone said, "Do you like it?" And I said, "Well, no, I'm just doing it because I need to get it done." They said, "Okay, but when you have the time to do it and it's pure out of love, what happens?" I'm like, "Oh, I make some of the best things when I'm just loving it." You know
Mm.
what I mean? And it's a huge difference. It's in everything: the people you with, the food you cook, the vibration you carry on. I'm thinking
Hmm.
about when you said that sister came in to talk to you that you might work with. It was she just came in with the vibe. She just was herself in her highest vibration.
Yeah.
You were attracted to that.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so much to
That's
do.
love. That's love.
Hmm.
You know, one of
You
the ways
know,
I started to embrace my soft side
Hmm.
was make a friend in the line at the grocery store. Because other times people don't want to be bothered, but we about to be friends for a minute, sis. So buckle up, okay? Peace. Go ahead, Sister
That's
Bray
so
Bay.
true. That's
no,
so true.
I was going on. What time is it? Oh, we ain't got a lot of time. I was just going to share real quickly how the softer side of me with my relationship with my dad is just now flourishing. But it took for me to express to my father, you know,
Hmm.
how that affected me because my dad was he you know, when I was little, he just didn't express his softer side. He just didn't tap into it. But it wasn't until I shared with him a lot of things that I went through, just from not having that connection with my dad of being able to experience being daddy's little girl. And
Hmm.
so here today, you know, since we've had that talk, you know, my father is really tapping into his softer side as my dad. And so let me tell you, he brings out that little girl in me. And even at my age, hey, I'm not ashamed. You know, when he calls, I'm just giddy. You know what I'm saying? So, sis, when you was talking about, the levels that it's going to unlock, it's amazing. It really is. And my relationship with my father is so awesome today, to the point that he reaches out, and he never used to do this. We talk a lot, and I love it. And it's just, I actually can feel his love for me, and it just melts me. It melts me when I walk in the door and I see his expression of him seeing me. It melts me. And so that's why it's important to me to have it and to be, or to be able to tap into it, because it's such a beautiful feeling. Whether it comes from friends, a stranger, just people just showing endearment to you. It's just a good feeling. It really is. I just want to share that piece.
Yeah.
Praise the
You know,
Lord.
Islam. I got to say that one of the people who I really love to embrace softness with is my grandbaby. You know, I need her to know that everybody who claims to love her really love her, and I got to be one of them to speak kindly. Don't get me wrong. I'm when she need to be straightened out, I straighten her out, because she told
Yes.
me last week, 2 weeks ago. She told me first of all, and I ain't know whether to cry or swing, but I gotta be I gotta be soft with her, so she won't feel like she can need to talk to me like that, because she getting it from somewhere, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's two people.
Oh my
Oh, wow.
goodness.
This was such a
Praise the
beautiful
Lord.
conversation. I thank you, sister, so much for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, when you were just talking about your father and the way your face just lit up on the screen when you were talking about your father was pure love. And
Mm-hmm.
when I see things, I'm like, and it makes me think about our lessons. It makes me look for it. So I was like, what is it? It was um Holy Covenant of the Ajax Nation. And it says in our last verse, it says, so shall thy fortunes of thy father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you
Mm,
all. Key part in your love to each other.
yes.
So when we see the Allah within each other, our highest expression is the Allah in man. That's what we're here to do.
Mm,
To be, to manifest that. When we're able to do that and get that reciprocated, that's a whole nother vibration. That's a
yes.
Yeah,
whole nother level.
Yes.
And when your
Yes, it
face just lit
is.
up, I was like, that's what that was. You were just giggling and smiling. I said, look at that,
Yes.
look at that. She was so
Mm-hmm.
happy. And so
Yeah,
we
I
just
love
need to
that
have
feeling.
more of that,
Yes, and
more and
I think
more.
all women
Definitely.
should get to experience that. It's a beautiful feeling. It is. So my hat's off to the brothers that's making their significant others feel that love and allow her softness to flourish.
Mm,
Yes.
mm.
Praise Allah. Definitely.
Hmm.
Well, I know we don't have time for another question, but maybe any last thoughts, closing thoughts from anybody?
So I just when Sister Grill was talking about her grandbaby, I was just thinking about my children, and I was thinking about the fact that it's important for us to, show them love and
Yes.
vulnerability. But I think it's also it's a duality, because our job is also to try to prepare them for the world. And I think
Mm,
Yeah.
at times doing that, we're trying to show them how to be loving and caring and stuff like that. But we're also trying to teach them how to toughen up. And I think there's a thin line. And at times, because you don't want them, I think for me personally, I don't want them to experience certain things that I may have, or, to know better or something like that. But, I
mm,
think, with the prophet's teachings, we just gotta, stay on track with that. And I just wanted to read one instruction out of our Holy Quran. This is chapter 21, page 33. And the instruction is instruction number 20. She informeth the minds of her children with wisdom. She fashioneth their manners from examples of her own goodness. And I just honestly feel that for me, I could, and this is something I know about myself, I could be a lot more, not nicer, but a lot more vulnerable and softer with them, because I think at times I'm always trying to get them to learn something, like, listen to what I'm trying to tell you, or listen to what I'm trying to explain to you so you can know. And it's just like, sometimes you just got to be mom. You just got to be that, give them that hug, sit there and listen to them. And I do that, but I think I could do that a whole lot more. Praise Allah.
Yes.
Praise Allah. Anyone else? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead.
I would like to say it is an honor and a pleasure again to sit with you, beautiful sisters. Y'all looking fabulous. Sister Britt Bay, you wearing them glasses, sis.
You are too, sis. You look gorgeous. Praise Allah.
Yes, some nice back. Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, well, I got a few announcements. I just, the one verse I did want to read, which it made me think about this chapter, says, "Her eyes speaketh softness and love, but discretion with a scepter sitteth on her brow." And that is true, right? We be like, hey, just give a minute.
Like,
get it together.
Watch out. Be careful.
That's us. That's us.
That's right.
Well, thank you, viewers, for listening and watching this show, for embracing your softness. A few announcements. Of course, we are so welcome to be. This is season 9, y'all. Season 9.
Yes. Wow.
First episode. We have every other week. We will be right here for this season, as well as, of course, we have our other shows that you can be able to enjoy. You have Universal Love, which will be on Wednesday. Brother, Sister Adams Bay, congratulations. They have a new loved one, little love baby that just came in to the flesh. And then we have next Wednesday, we have Sakara Sacred Healing, Brother, Sister Berry Bay, who are going to be holding it down and dropping their truth. Of course, on Fridays, we have our Holy Day meeting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. If you can't get to a local temple, that's okay. Just tune on in right back here on Facebook Live, and we'll make sure that you get some of that knowledge. Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern time as well. We have our Sunday school. We have temple number 71. If you're in the Washington, D.C. area, they're having their family day this Saturday. You might actually see Sister Britt, you're going to be there. Sister Grill, you might you're going to be there.
Yes, I will.
So
yes, I will.
You might be able to get a hug in person if you in D.C. Temple number 28, our temple that, at least for my temple, we love this temple, Glassboro, New Jersey. They're having a fundraiser for their temple on July 17th. Sister A. Smith Bay will be doing she has a beautiful voice, doing her performance there for their fundraiser. Temple number 28, again, in Glassboro, New Jersey, August 13th. One of my children, my favorites as a child, family day celebration. You get to hang out, you get to play some games, you get to see who's really fast, who's really slow, who can toss that egg, and it's hot. Eat some corn, some ices, whatever you want to do, and it's a beautiful time. And of course, our Authority Day will be celebrated across the nation. It's on July 20th, so if you're around, find a temple closest to you and you can find out what celebration or event that's happening. Thank you, viewers, for watching us again on Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk.
Yes.
Have a wonderful evening. Peace.
Peace.
Girl Talk, Real Talk.
Welcome back to Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk.
We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk, real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk, real talk. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk, real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk, real talk. Allah want us to talk about it. At least that we can shout about it. We're building our foundation upon truth. Unfaithful now to think about it. Communicate and speak about it. The gospel of salvation is good news. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk, real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk, real talk. We're building when talking real talk. Real talk. We're building when our moors are talking Moorish talk. Real talk. Real talk. We're building when the girls are
Please tune
talking
in
Moorish
to
talking
Girl Talk, Moorish Talk in 2 weeks on Monday at 7 p.m.
We thank you all for being a part of this show and experience with us, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.